Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Raw, man. What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Hoping everybody doing swell. Hope everything is all right. Oh, sorry. Hope everybody is doing good. How's everybody doing, man? I know it's been a minute. Got fighting all type of obstacles. Instagram deleting pages, making up bogus charges. Anybody that follow me know that I post the same content to Raw Therapy that I post to the Rraw Report. So how's the Rraw Report got all these copyright infringement violations and Raw Therapy don't? So when they tell you it's the technology doing it, we don't think it's the technology because we clearly see that it's a person doing it, somebody who's been my nemesis for since my first page. They've been my nemesis. I believe it's a reptilian. You know, I done told y'all that before. It's a reptilian doing the shit. They don't like me, but it's cool. I don't know do this. Get a better shot of this right here. What's going on, YouTube? I know I hardly go live on YouTube. Trying to fit everybody in. That's I'm gonna start a whole brand new page in a minute. You know, maybe wear a mask or something. Conceal my true identity since they treat me like a second class superhero. Treat me like a second class citizen superhero. All right. You was reading my book and you was on page 31 and all of a sudden the laptop crashed for a long while before it worked again. You know what's so funny, what's so crazy? A lot of people don't believe this. I get people that tell me all the time, whether it's after they got the soul trap session or when they dealing with anything that I put out, that they start to experience anomalies. All right. And the reason that is because you waking up. Okay. You got to understand one big major thing. These beings that surround us don't want you to know that not only are they there, but that they are in control. All right. Who told you? Who think about this for a second. We know they lie to us, right? Everything they tell us is a lie, right? Oh, the earth is round and you're a human being and everything they tell us is a lie, right? So ask yourself a big question. Who told you, who told you that you got free will? Who told you that? Who told you you got free will? They did. Why is it that we keep believing everything that they tell us when we know for a fact they don't want us to know anything? You see what I'm saying? They don't want us to know nothing. So why do we keep believing what they tell us? We don't have free will. You think you got free will, but we don't have free will. They in control. See, when you can control an environment, all right, and this is going into my psychology, all right, if you've ever heard of uh, the debate of culture versus environment. I think I'm getting it right, all right. But anyway, and I know I'm not getting it right, but anyway, your surroundings Hey, Steve, your surroundings influence what you do. All right. So how do you have free will if your surroundings are influencing what you do? All right. For example, and we can go into many examples on this, but for example, if I live in the ghetto and do not have any resources, the likelihood of me going to play golf with my friends is 0%. Well, I'll leave 1% in there because I don't know where Tiger grew up, but you know, black people do go play golf. But out of the ghetto, you know what golf fees are like? You see what I'm saying? So, not too many people are going to play golf. Okay? So, where does free will come to play for people in the ghetto? All right? If you live in the ghetto, most people are trying to get out of the ghetto. All right? Which means they're going to spend their time, most of their time doing what? Working. All right? Your environment plays a heavy decision in the decisions that you make. So when you be talking about free will, if they control your environment, they're controlling what you do. They also control what you learn, what you see. So when you take that into consideration and take this into consideration as well, you can only use 10, 20% of your brain. They tell you 97% of your DNA is turned off. They call it junk. You can only see, this is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing. You can only see on less than 1% of the entire spectrum of what there is to see. That's the biggest thing of all. You can only see less than 1% on the entire spectrum of what there actually is to be seen around you. So they made us blind, 10% of your brain, they made us dumb, stupid, 97% of your DNA turned off, and they made us lame. We're blind, dumb, and lame. And you think you have free will? No, you don't have free will. Okay? You're blind, dumb, and lame. Blind because we can only see less than 1%. Dumb because we can only use 10 to 20% of our brain. And lame because our DNA structure, 97% of it is junk. Therefore, what we could possibly do if it was all turned on, you think, Michael Jordan, and these guys are alien. I mean, yeah, Michael Jordan is a reptilian. All right. Your sports is filled with reptilians. And they have abilities that we don't. Like elongating their hands and doing shit like you seen Chris Brown do when he was trying to dunk the ball, his hand expand. See, they can do that type of stuff because their DNA has not been turned off, but they realize that they are around people like us, plain humans, who cannot do the things that they can do. So we're blind, deaf, and dumb. So now you want to try to understand, how could I have free will if I'm blind, deaf, and dumb? How could you? All right. In the Quran, which I done read this book 11 times, front to back. Keep reminding y'all. The first time I read it, I didn't want to fall into the trap that I fell into with Christianity. Every Christian did not read that Bible. I'm talking about every Christian did not read that Bible before they let's say accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. You ain't read this book. You ain't read this book in full before you joined Christianity. I know you didn't, because it's passed down through our families and friends and just the society. This is a Christian society here in America. You see what I'm saying? But I said, before I joined, I said, well, I didn't want to join. I was searching for God. I said, well, let me read the Quran. And so I read this book in full. After I read it, though, I joined Islam for the next 10 years. And I read this book every Ramadan for the next 10 years in full, as you are supposed to do, Muslims. You know you're supposed to read this book in full every Ramadan. And so I did. I mean, I was in a joint, so I ain't had nothing better to do, but I still did it. You see what I'm saying? Then I read this 5 times. But I read this 5 times before I joined Islam. You see what I'm saying? I read this 5 times. This book here. That's why I know so much about it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I know so much about it. That's why I'm not a Christian. See, look, if you read this, you're not going to be no Christian. I guarantee you that. That's why your preachers and pastors say, don't read the Bible, like a book. Who says that? Like where does that freaking come from? Don't read the Bible like a book? How should you read it? If you read it like your pastors, you stay in the New Testament and you pick and choose out the Old Testament. You see what I'm saying? The New Testament, 80% of the New Testament is written by Paul. All right, 80%. He's written the majority of the books. So now you got to ask yourself, well, who is this Paul? Who is the Paul that wrote 80% of these books? The Acts, Galatians, the letter of Paul to Titus, Hebrew, and the first letter. So who is Paul? They got you thinking Paul was a disciple of Jesus. They got you thinking that this Paul that wrote 80% of the New Testament walked alongside Jesus. And I'm here to tell you, he did not. He did not. So who is this Paul? This is the Paul who did not believe in Jesus, who was on the road to Damascus, and suddenly they say God hit him with a light that blinded him. See, one thing you got to realize is this, people. When you go back and read these books, and they start attributing occurrences to God, that's the same dumb BS I showed you in the video where these people down in Florida before the hurricanes, saw them strange lights in the sky, and everybody saw, oh, it's God, it's Jesus. They started just look, if people do that dumb BS today in 2024, can you imagine what 2,000-year-old man would have did seeing those same exact lights in the sky? Can you imagine? You see what I'm saying? You see how ignorance is timeless. Ignorance is timeless. There's no way in 2024 that anybody should be looking up at the sky and seeing a strange light talking about that's God in 2024. All right? This is a special kind of idiocy, because that don't make no sense. All right? I mean, you got to give Enoch and them a pass. Okay? Because Enoch and them didn't know about UFOs and all of that stuff. You got to give them a pass. But you can't give a person today a pass, because you a straight dummy if you believe in that. You are a straight dummy. Okay? There's no way we should attribute anything that's unknown to God just off GP. Why would you? You see what I'm saying? Look, here go the thing. All right. Mainstream has been lying to us for a very long time. Now, Sunday is the worldwide conference on the apocalypse. All right. Y'all need to go to my website and get your tickets, please. Please. This very well might be the very last conference that I do. All right. Because it's, if y'all don't understand what's going on against me, okay, another page deleted. The message that look, there's nobody that connect the dots like I do. Plain and simple. There's nobody that connects the dots like I do. And nobody still, all these celebrities following, nobody still has reached out and said, man, we need to get you to a bigger platform, or we need to put some money behind you so that at least you can have a lawyer that when they, Forbidden Knowledge got a lawyer. When they put a violation on his page, he sent his lawyers to get that shit. All right? These motherfuckers they violate me with bogus claims. It's somebody at Instagram doing this shit. All right? It's not the computer, it's not the technology. Because if it was, then I would have these same violations on Raw Therapy, because I post the same exact stuff. That's the whole purpose of having a backup page. All right. So nobody's stepping up, man, and it's frustrating to me. And to be honest with you, I'm just tired. You know what I'm saying? I can't grow. They keep deleting me. 80,000 at the last page. The first page. Almost 80,000 on this page. They will not let me grow. And nobody's stepping up to help me. I can't do it by myself. You know what I'm saying? I put out products in the hopes that you guys will buy it so that I can earn some money, so that I can get to a higher platform or something. But without the support, I'm where I'm at, nowhere. I'm where I'm at, nowhere. And that's kind of crazy, man, when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not saying I'm Jesus, but Jesus had support. All right. Jesus had support to get a message out. What can one person do against the world? I can't do nothing. So, forgive me if I'm like getting to the point where it's like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Why am I, I don't have to do this. I can just, fuck this. I can just go somewhere and chill and, I'm 56, live the rest of my life out. I'm trying to help people wake up, but what is the world coming to? Anyway, the conference on the apocalypse is Sunday. You can get your tickets at therrawreport.com. People not noticing the signs. All right. The elite, your president, all of these people, y'all witnessing, y'all in the last days, Americans. Americans, you are in the last days, and y'all don't even see it coming. The stage is set, and you don't see it. And you're still running around here, and I'm trying to explain to you, all that money you got in the bank, you're going to wish you bought that soul trap session with it. I guarantee. I put that on everything. You're going to wish like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I put it to you like this. You think I didn't have followers in North Carolina and Florida? I could tell you that I did. I can tell you that I did. And they done lost everything. Some of them done lost their lives. You got to wake up. I understand about survival and all of that stuff and living, but listen, who controls the weather? So this is what they're doing. So look, the first sign that the apocalypse was coming was when, see, first of all, let me define apocalypse. Because you people think that God is coming. And see, you can't shake your indoctrination if you think in this way. Right? The person who you call God that's in this Bible, first of all, let's be very clear about it. This is not your God. Right? Once again, who told you that this was your God? Who told you that? Who told you that the God in this Bible was your God? For black people, your slave master told you that. That's for one. For white people, depending on where you from, everybody's, for white people, y'all can trace y'all heritage back overseas to Europe where you came from. So it'll be a different situation for you, for each and every one of you, actually. Some of you picked this up just here in America. But some of you, trace your religious beliefs back to before your parents even came here to America. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Unless you are one of those Jews that are here today, and I'm not talking about black people, talking about they the original Jews. I ain't talking about all that dumb shit. Unless you one of these Jews that can trace your lineage back to being a slave held captive by ancient Egypt, that's the only people whose God is this in the Bible. And if you don't believe me, look around. Look around. Do these Jews go to prison? Less than 1%. Are they affluent? Are they being taken care of? Do you see Jews as bums begging in the streets? I've never seen them, and I've done a lot of traveling. So Yahweh is holding up his end of the bargain to the Jews that he rescued out of Egypt. Because for the most part, who runs the world? The Jews. Israel, the tiniest little country, got more pull than the United States because what? United States pay Israel. And if Israel, they get on there in front of like Joe Biden. Oh, that was bad what Israel done. And man, if Israel say jump, the United States jumps. You see what I'm saying? Why? Think about it for a second. Why is all these countries, these Western countries and stuff, why do they treat Israel like, they somebody? Because of this book. Because of what's in this book. Right? Yahweh is the children of Israel's God, period. It's not your God. All right? Remember something. When Yahweh rescued the children of Israel from Egypt, what did they do after that? They went on a war campaign. They fought everybody. All right? Now you was in Egypt, you fought the Egyptians, the Nubians, so you fought the black people. It was the black people who had you enslaved. Of course, the pharaohs was aliens, but so are all of your leaders. All right, back then and now. Okay, all of your leaders are alien. But so Yahweh fought against the black people. He fought the Babylonians. He fought everybody from every place. All right? Think. If this is your God, why is he going around fight? Because he fought what I'm trying to explain to you is he considered everybody to be an enemy except for who? The Jew. So what you're not understanding is you fast forward 2,000 years till today or whatever amount of time it was, and you got motherfuckers that's Egyptian. You got Egyptian Christians. Listen to this. You got Egyptian Christians. How could you be an Egyptian Christian when Yahweh fought your ancestors to get the children of Israel free? So you think Yahweh, the God of the Bible, is actually that's somebody you need to be praying to? You think he is God because he rescued his own clan? You see what I'm saying? People, we not thinking. All right. Why would God choose? If this is the God of humanity, like some of y'all people think, and you pray to this dude every day, why didn't he embrace humanity? Why look, why did he choose just the children of Israel to release? You think the children of Israel was the only people in bondage? Slavery been going on since damn near the beginning of time. So why do you think he specifically chose them to free? He never freed the black slaves in America. Rome had slaves, Greece had slaves. Anytime a people got conquered, if they wasn't killed, most of the time they was enslaved. So why would you worship a God that thought all of y'all was enemies? Why would you do that? What man? You think time changed his mind? Oh yeah, it's been 2,000 years. So I forgive the Egyptians. I forgive the black people. Who else we fought? I forgive the ancestors of the Babylonians. I forgive I forgive. You think that's what's going on? He done forgave. Y'all got to wake up. This is not your God. You struggle. Your people struggle. White people struggle. Black people. The Jews ain't struggling. The Jews are not struggling. They are running this bitch. Flat out. Now, in the Talmud of Emmanuel, Jesus tells you the same thing that Dave Chappelle told you in a joke. Dave Chappelle's joke about space Jews. Jesus himself in the Talmud of Emmanuel tells you that the Jews come from another planet where they escape bondage. So think about that for a second. You got ancient Egypt enslaving them. You got Hitler trying to exterminate them. What's going on here? What's going on here? If you on some of these YouTube or whatever, you can follow me at Rraw Therapy with 2 R's, and my other backup is Raw Talk. But what's going on here? Why are these people so against the Jews? What do they know that you don't? Now, there's something called, and I was looking this word up. I didn't finish. I was looking at the etymology, if I'm saying that right. But I was researching the word Semitic. And by me being, raised Christian and converting to Islam and then leaving Islam and, understanding that, God is within you and you should not put no being above you. All right. Understand something. All right. I was looking up the word Semitic. Now, Semitic, most people know that if you're anti-Semitic, that's like you're anti-Jewish. All right. But what people don't realize is Semitic actually covers Arabs too. I don't think y'all knew that. You see what I'm saying? But it makes sense to me because the God of the Bible, Yahweh, is also the God of the Quran, Allah. Did y'all know that? You didn't. All right. Muslims who have read the Quran know that Allah claims to be Yahweh. All right. In the Quran, Allah tells you that he is also Yahweh. All right. Let that sink in for a minute. Allah is also Yahweh. All right. And to find this out, all you got to do is pick up a book and read it. All right. You may be able to Google, does Allah say he is Yahweh in the Quran? You may be able to Google it. It may come up. I'm not sure. But I've read this 11 times. Allah says he is Yahweh. And that makes perfect sense. Because when you look at a traditional Jewish person and you look at a traditional Islamic person, the males, what do they look like? They look the same. They got a beard. They wear a little hat on their head. They prostrate when they pray. All right. So when I seen that, it kind of baffled me. All right. And like I said, I read this. You're supposed to read, as a Muslim, you're supposed to read the Quran every Ramadan. All right. So every Ramadan, I'm reading this, right? And I will go over it. And it took, because it was 10 years. And it took, yes, it does say that. Fuck out of here before I block your dumb ass. I love when people say, it don't say he is Yahweh. All right. I'm proving to you that he's Yahweh, that he not only does he said it, because I can't quote the verse. All right. But Muslims and Jews look alike. Exactly. All right. You're supposed to do what? Grow your beard long, cover your head. Can a Muslim eat Jewish meat? Because in Islam you got halal, which is stuff you shouldn't eat. I mean, stuff you should eat, and you got haram, which is stuff you shouldn't eat. Can a Muslim eat Jewish meat? Yes, they can. Jewish meat is halal. So, can a Jew eat Muslim meat? Yes, they can. All right. As a matter of fact, I am going to block that bitch that said they not. Because I prove what the fuck I say. And I don't appreciate people getting on this motherfucker acting like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I lived this shit, bitch. You ain't lived it. I done lived this shit. I ain't talking about some shit that I fucking read. I mean, I read it, but I lived it. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? A Muslim can eat. See, the reason a Muslim and a Jew can eat each other's meat if it's prepared halal is because of the way it's been prepared. And you have to say a prayer over that meat when you sacrifice, when the animal is sacrificed. All right? So think about this for a second. I'm going to prove this idiot wrong just like this. If you got to say, this is what makes, if you don't know this, you can Google this. You see what I'm saying? If you don't know this, you can Google this. What is the procedure that makes the meat acceptable to eat by both the Muslim and the Jew? What is the procedure? Upon the killing of the animal, a prayer must be said. All right? A prayer to who? The Muslim will pray to Allah. The Jew will pray to Yahweh. So if a Jew can eat Muslim meat, that must means what? Allah and Yahweh is the same. Duh. You see how I prove shit and break shit down? Duh. You see what I'm saying? Because if Muslims was praying, if Allah was not Yahweh, then why would the Jews be able to eat a meat that's blessed to another God? They never would. and if Muslims pray to Allah and Yahweh is not Allah, would a Muslim eat a meat that's been blessed by some other deity? Hell no. And neither would the Jews. That's the whole purpose of it. See, I use this motherfucker for real. I think like nobody else. That's why they delete my pages, because I'm able to break stuff down and help you understand it. And they don't want that. They don't want you to know what I know. They don't want me to wake you up. You see what I'm saying? They don't want that. See, they know people don't think like this. And that's why I tell you, they've been watching me since birth. I don't know, I wish I could afford to go get what's called a past life regression. I really want to know who I am or who I was, because I know I was somebody, because I understand and know that you've been watching me since the beginning. You see what I'm saying? And they've done everything they could besides take me out to, the reason I believe they haven't taken me out is because they want me to reincarnate again. They don't want to lose me. So what they're doing is they've been from the beginning. I'm telling you, look, my earliest childhood memory, my earliest, is being in bed as a kid, maybe 4 or 5 years old. I was in bed, laying down, and it was a being on my wall, a black being. And he was like, as you see the wall behind, like if you elevate me, he was on my wall just like this, looking down on me. That's my earliest memory. You know what I'm saying? And I would put my head up under the covers because I was scared. You know what I'm saying? I look back out and it'll still be. That was my earliest memory, dog. Okay? These beings are, they look, like I said earlier, 10% of your brain, that makes us dumb. 97% of your DNA turned off, that makes us lame. Only can see less than 1% of the 100% spectrum, that makes us blind. Blind, deaf, and dumb. That's what we are. All right? Now, in your Bible, Yahweh tell you that, they didn't want us to eat from the tree of knowledge. It was so-called Satan, aka Enki, who told them to eat from the tree of knowledge. Imagine that we never would have ate from the tree of knowledge. Imagine how even more dumb and stupid we would be. Imagine that. So when I tell you that them Sumerian texts state that the only reason you was created was to be a slave, trust and believe that. Have they not managed, even though we ate from the tree of knowledge, have they not managed to keep the majority of us even more, blind, dumb, and lame? The majority of us are blind, dumb, and lame. The majority of us does not even know that there's a problem. And it's funny you say that, B-Wiz. I've been working on an actual, it won't be a physical class, obviously, but I've been working on, I'm going to provide a class that's It's going to be a live class, all right, that I'm going to provide to wake people up. It's going to be like, I don't know, about maybe 8 weeks or so. I don't know. I'll have to work it out. It's going to be $100. It's going to be a class. You will join. It's going to be limited seatings, maybe only like maybe 20 people at a time, something like that. But, and it'll have I'm working on where you'll be able to go on my website, and we'll do the sit down, and I'll teach just like I'm doing like right now. And then after that, you'll have a week until the next class. But in between that week, you'll be able to go to my website and do the testing and all of that stuff. So in an effort to wake people up. So I have been working on something like that, actually, to be honest with you. All right. If you haven't signed up on my website, just to sign up and become a member, please go do that, just so I have your email. All right, because ain't no telling, man. The last time they deleted 2 pages, so I'm surprised they didn't even just delete Raw Therapy. All right, the last time they deleted my page, they deleted the Rraw Report. They deleted my backup with 16,000 followers, which was Raw News, and then Google deleted my my YouTube page. They did this all on the same day. And this was back before Facebook owned Instagram. All right. So that's another thing I'll be trying to explain to you about collusion. Collusion is big. All of these people are in cahoots with each other. You see what I'm saying? They all in cahoots, man. That's why I keep trying to explain to y'all. They let you think you have free will. There's no free will, man. They are all in cahoots. All right. Y'all know the 13 families own the 13, biggest businesses where every other business is a subsidiary of. Y'all know that, right? So if you don't think look, keep trying to explain to y'all, man. Y'all live in a dome up underwater. They clearly tell you this in the Bible, all right? But where did the Bible get that from? They got it from the Sumerian text. You live in a dome up underwater. You don't live on a real world. This is why flat earth is so important, but you live on a dome up underwater. Most of y'all don't get that because you don't know how to do ramification thinking, which is one of the main things I'm going to be teaching in that class, is how to connect dots. When somebody tell you something, you don't just be like, oh, that's interesting. No, you say, well, if that's the case, what is that related to? What does that mean? You see what I'm saying? And you have to start connecting dots. So if you live in a dome up underwater, all right, or if you say the earth is flat, then you have to start asking questions. Why is the earth flat? Who? Okay, I'm gonna give y'all some basic knowledge. Y'all remember as a kid who, what, why, when, where? Them 5 things. Anytime you come across some information that you didn't know before, ask who, what, why, when, and where. Ask those 5 things, and you will learn how to start thinking the way I think by using ramification thinking. All right. The earth is flat. What? Who would make the earth flat? Why is the earth flat? How is the earth flat? When? Where? You start asking those questions. See, the reason they downplay flat earth is because if you start thinking like me, the biggest thing I would be thinking is, well, who made the earth flat? If the other planets are round, which we have a sun and a moon, we can clearly see that they are round, why would the earth be flat? And who made it flat? You see what I'm saying? So the other thing is this. When you start catching when you start catching the system in lies, all right? Oh, aliens don't exist. For years they told us that. All right. But not only do we see evidence of aliens, pyramids and stuff like this, but now they're actually flying around here. Okay. People are recalling being abducted, and me personally, I've seen gray aliens, all right, under sleep paralysis when they came. My wife at the time was being abducted, had missing time, all right, a lot of missing time. You see what I'm saying? Sun and the moon don't have to be planets, Claymont, for you to understand that there's something wrong. That why would you don't know if Earth is a planet? They told you Earth is a planet. Earth is not a planet. It's a biosphere. You see what I'm saying? But the whole thing about it is what here's ramification thinking is you see two bodies in the sky that are round. All right. And if you just do cognitive thinking, then you will say, okay, well, I'm on a planet. I'm on, not a planet. I'm on a body too. You don't know if it's people on those bodies. You don't know if people on the sun. You don't know if people are on the moon. But people are on this place where you at. So, deductive thinking would say, well, those two bodies are round, then this body is round. That would be deductive thinking. You see what I'm saying? But you're being told that you're not on a round body, but you see two round bodies in the sky. This was the thinking of the person who changed the way the world thought, or so they tell us, and that would be Copernicus. All right. Before Copernicus in like the late 1500s, but Copernicus is the one that said the world is round. Before Copernicus in the late 1500s, I think 1585, everybody thought the earth was flat. It was common knowledge before Copernicus. So when Copernicus reasoned, and all he could do was reason, he had a telescope, and all he could do was reason because every other body that he saw in the sky was round. Copernicus reasoned, and it was a good college educated guess, all right, that the earth must be round. And based off this reasoning, a globe somehow appeared in every school in the 1600s all over the world. Now, when I read something like that, how could one man influence the world so quickly? He didn't. That's some Anunnaki shit. All right? That's some Anunnaki. How could you? So you telling me, and I forget where Copernicus was from, Greece or Rome, one of the two. So motherfuckers in Australia, Asia, all over the world, the globe came to be. So they said, oh, he figured out the earth ain't flat, it's round. Let's get the globe. Come on, man. Whenever you see something like that, a turn in that's impossible. I mean, we can do that now. We got social media. How could that spread then? So you mean to tell me it just went, there's no wire for it to go out on? You see what I'm saying? And here's the biggest thing of all. Ain't nobody gonna accept. I mean, who is Copernicus? People in Africa don't know who the hell Copernicus is. People in Asia, they didn't know who this dude was. So how could a Joe Schmo influence the world? He couldn't. Especially about a belief, not a fact, a belief. How could he influence the world? He couldn't. So then you got to ask yourself, well, how did this become a worldwide belief? So much, in fact, without any type of proof, physical proof, that he could change the minds of people who believed the earth was flat. How could he do it? He needed help. And who was the only, The Anunnaki, that's it. See, the Anunnaki make changes. They make worldwide changes, not us. A pandemic coming about every 100 years on the dot. Who could do such a thing? Who could? Bill Gates couldn't do it. He could only do it during his lifetime and then he would die. So who lives long enough to make sure that we're going to have a pandemic every 100 years, not 99 years, not 101 years, every 100 years on the dot since at least the Black Plague, probably before. All right? Who could do that? Who could make sure that happens? You, me, any human? Could any human do it? No. So who is making sure that there's a plague of some type every 100 years? Who's making sure of that? The last plague was COVID. So who's making sure that there's a plague that wipe out a substantial amount of people every year? I mean, every 100 years. Who's doing that? The Anunnaki. The Anunnaki live 450,000 Earth years, people. They are the only ones who could pull that off. You see what I'm saying? So you got to realize that when I be telling you, man, you live in, you want to play. All right? Each of y'all are playing a part. For most of y'all, the part that they want you to play is that of a proletariat, which is what? A worker. All right? Me, the part I'm playing is a part that they don't want to be played. All right? But the reason I'm thinking that I'm easily controllable. Okay? The reason I'm easily controllable is because I only use social media. I'm not out in the world. It's not, I'm not a Martin Luther King doing marches and stuff. I'm not Gandhi or something. Them people had to be eliminated. All right? Because they was physically getting people involved. Gandhi had, millions of people following. He had to be eliminated. I don't have millions of people. All right? And they're not going to let me get millions of people. I'll never get a page with 1 million followers unless I stop talking about the soul trap. That's the main thing. All right? They might let me get a few, 1 million talking about flat earth because they know people don't. See, look, they know you better than you know yourself. See, information in the wrong hands can be dangerous. And I'm one of those persons where you put information in my hands, I'm dangerous because I'm going to figure that shit out. And what's even more dangerous about me is I have a knack of explaining it in a way so that the average person understands what I'm talking about. And that's dangerous. And probably the most dangerous aspect of me is that I don't just tell you this stuff. I break it down and I prove it to you. All right. Just like I just did with the Jews being able to eat Muslim meat and Muslims being able to eat Jewish meat. It could only mean one thing. Allah is also Yahweh. And Yahweh is Allah. You see what I'm saying? See, who else could tell you that? And then turn around and prove it to you like I just did. Who could do that? You ain't ran across nobody that could do that. And yet the way I did that, in the most elementary of terms, everybody understands like, damn, you right about that, Rraw. A Jew wouldn't eat nobody else's meat if it wasn't praised by if the prayer wasn't praised by their own God. That's the whole reason why they eat a specific. That's why they only eat their meat, is because is that when they slice that animal, they got to say a prayer over that animal to Yahweh, not to Jesus, not to, you know, Kubla Khan, not to nobody else. That prayer must be said to their God for that meat to be called halal or acceptable. If it's not, what if you said a prayer to the meat to Satan, to Lucifer? They're not gonna eat it. That's not their God. You see what I'm saying? The Jew and the Muslim will only eat meat that's been sacrificed with a prayer that's said to their God. But the fact that a Jew will eat halal meat and a Muslim will eat what is called kosher meat tells you that their God, Yahweh and Allah, as Allah tells you in the Quran, are one and the same. Now, what a lot of y'all don't know is that when the Prophet Muhammad, whose name is in the Bible, in the Song of Solomon, but was changed from Muhammad to oh sweet and lovely one. They changed his name. And the reason they changed his name is because they didn't want uh, Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, to have the what is called the seal of prophetdom. All right, they didn't want people to know that he was a prophet from this from that. That's so if you read the Bible, man, every prophet is foretold to come. Even in the Bible, Jesus tells you there will be one that comes after me. All right, that's something that people forget that Jesus states. You can Google it. Jesus said there will be one that comes after me. Who? Who? Prophet Muhammad did. And his name is actually in the Bible. And if you go on YouTube and Google Prophet Muhammad name in the Bible, you will see a doctor telling you where this is at. They prove it to you in so many ways. They take the original Hebrew verse to a rabbi and tell them to translate, or no, they don't tell them to translate, they tell them to read it. See, when you read the original, you hear Muhammadin. That's not oh sweet and lovely one. You hear Muhammadin. The deen part on the word Muhammad is like saying sir. It denotes respect. So when you hear these Jewish rabbis reading that verse and it's saying Muhammadin, Muhammad is a name. Deen is the respect of it, which even proves it even more. You see what I'm saying? Which proves it even more because they, like Birdman saying, they put respect on his name. All right. So this is the one Jesus told that will come after him. Now, the reason they keep this as a secret is because a lot of Jews, when Prophet Muhammad came, when I say a lot, I'm talking about thousands, if not millions, of Jews converted to Islam. Why? Because they were supposed to. You see what I'm saying? Allah is Yahweh. Now, here's the biggest red flag for me though is, well, why would he change his name and come up with a whole different new and it's really not the rules of Islam is practically the same as the rules of Judaism. All right, but you won't know that unless you read the Torah and the Quran. They practically the same. You got to sacrifice your meat. Men, you got to cover your head. Women, you got to cover up. All the rules is the same. It's all the same. Now, the crazy part though is why are they fighting? In Raw Therapy, I'm gonna have to bring you back. They taking us out. All right. But the whole thing is why are they fighting? Why are Muslims and Jews fighting right now? That's a big question. I'm gonna bring y'all right back, Raw Therapy. All right. While they file in, let me get something to drink. Green tea. But they say it's good for you, right? So, why are the Muslims and the Jews fighting if they're praying to the same God? It's a big question. It's a big question. Again, the Raw Report has been deleted. You can follow me on Raw Therapy or Raw Talk. And soon I'm gonna start another page, but it's not gonna be a page. It's gonna be a page of knowledge, but I will not be talking about certain things on that page. I just want to see. I just want to see what they're gonna do. So, but anyway, I don't know who to pray for. You say pray for me, huh? You got to pray to yourself. All right. Let me explain something to y'all, man, how this whole thing about prayer and stuff works. Okay. In the Talmud of Emmanuel, Jesus tells you that if you ask the Spirit within you, not this so-called fake Holy Spirit. See, everything they got out there, God, the Holy Spirit, and all that shit, man, that stuff is meant to take your power away from you. It's meant to take your power away from you. And they succeeded. They have succeeded in taking your power away. They got people going up to, they got these Catholic motherfuckers going up to porcelain statues praying to a dummy. That's a dummy. You know, like a literal dummy. That's a dummy. You playing to a dummy, a crash dummy. All right. And then all these people, so here go the thing, since that's what they put up there for you to pray to, just because you're not there in person, you think, oh, I'm praying to God, you know. So the Catholics are the way out in Vatican City. You following their rules. Understand this. You are following their rules, right? When you ascribe to be this, Baptist, you know, Pentecostal, whatever, Jehovah's Witness, I don't give a fuck what you think you are. You following their rules, and their rules is that you pray to this statue, or you pray to this person they call a saint, who was somebody that walked this earth and wiped their ass just like you wipe your butt. Jesus wiped his butt. All right? Just because Jesus did miracles don't mean nothing. That man pooped and peed. Did he not? Do you forget this? Do you forget that this man, when he wiped his butt for 33 years, at least one time, and we got to believe this back then because they ain't had no toilet paper. Do you know how many times Jesus got boo-boo on his hand? Huh? If you don't got no toilet paper and you trying to wipe your butt, what are the odds of you getting some dookie on your hands? See, y'all don't think like I think. I know it sounds funny. That's why I'm making it like this. Because people don't think like I think. Jesus wiped his ass. And since they didn't have toilet paper back there, the odds of him getting boo-boo on his hand, this man got boo-boo on his hands. And that's who you pray to. Boo-boo hands. Boo-boo hands, McGee. See, see, they got y'all, look, and don't get me wrong, all right? Jesus provided a whole hell of a lot of insight in the Talmud of Emmanuel, but he also told you where he was from. He's an Anunnaki, all right? He's an Anunnaki. You got to remember, man, Jesus was a traveler, all right? There was not always leaves around to use. Jesus was a traveler, all right? And when you got to go, you got to go. So I can almost Guarantee you, there were times when Jesus went out of the way, pooped, and there was nothing to wipe his butt with, and he just pulled them goddamn pants back up and kept walking with his stanky ass. All right? You got to put stuff into context, people. You cannot apply today's anything to, except for, thinking. You can't apply, you can't walk around like Jesus didn't have a stinky butt. He did. All of them did. There wasn't no deodorant back then. Them niggas was in the sun in the Middle East. These motherfuckers stank. That's even worse. Petro, they reminded me, Jesus didn't wear pants. He wore, a dress, a smock. So that make it even worse. You just pull your smock up, because they ain't have no drawers. You just pull your smock up, poop. If you had a leaf or something, you use a leaf, but if you're traveling on the road, you might try to, do it where trees is at, but if you was in the desert somewhere, you just pull your little smock back down and keep on walking with your stinking ass. You see what I'm saying? Did Jesus do miracles, or did Jesus use what will be called advanced technology? Did Jesus actually raise somebody from the dead, or did he give somebody that wasn't dead some advanced technology medicine that cured their ass and they got up? Did Jesus really walk on water, or was Jesus, or was there some apparatus already there? Because we know today what? UFOs come out of the water. UFOs come out of the ocean. In your Bible and in the Talmud of Emmanuel, Jesus tells you about him stepping into the light. You see what I'm saying? Stepping into the light and whoop, gone. Enoch tells you. You got to compare all of this stuff. Enoch is the great grandfather of Noah before the flood. And Enoch is specifically telling you about aliens abducting him and taking him through the several heavens, which is firmaments above this firmament. So if you live in a dome and this is a firmament, all right, Enoch told you it's 10 more of these above you. That's also submerged in water, because he said when he went through the last one, or the one that sits at the top where he said, quote unquote, God lives, he said they went through that last firmament, the 10th one, into more water. And then they came up out of the water, and then they were in outer space. Which proves to you what? You live in a dome up underwater, but us, this is why they digging. They know we are on the bottom. If where we live, if we was in the middle, you would not be able to dig, trust me, because you will be trying to dig into the next firmament. They got us on the bottom. The reason we're on the bottom is because of one reason and one reason only. They came here to mine gold. The gold is where? On the bottom. You see what I'm saying? The gold is on the bottom. Let me get back to praying. All right. Who and I'm not being disrespectful, Petro. I think that was you that said pray for me, but I'm not being disrespectful. I want y'all to understand, who are we going to pray to? Who? Yahweh? See, God is a universal term. People be like, oh, pray to God, and God is, but who is God? Because in your Bible, the gods are specific. Yahweh in the first commandment tells you what? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So there's other gods. So for you people that say, well, I leave it in God's hand. Which God? Who you talking about? Who you talking about? You see what I'm saying? Because there's many of them. Did not, if the children of Israel, when they was locked up, when they was in bondage by Egypt, did not Egypt have their own gods? Yes, they did. The children of Israel, they had their own God, Yahweh. The Babylonians, they had everybody that the children of Israel fought. Assyrians, Babylonians, yada, da, 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 they all had their own gods. But what you don't know about the Jews, that they don't want you to know, Yahweh was not their God. I'm about to fuck y'all up with this one. So, y'all remember something. The children of Israel, and somebody asked it before, they said, well, who were the children of Israel before Yahweh got to them? Nobody. They were nobodies. Now, here go the thing. What happened? So Egypt had the children of Israel in bondage for 400 years. For 400 years. All right? And then what happened? After 400 years, somebody, we don't know who, somebody turned Yahweh on to the children of Israel. All right? And told them, there go some people you can take over. They'll worship you. And what did Yahweh do? Yahweh approached the children of Israel, and what did they make? An agreement. What's an agreement back then called? A covenant. And what was that covenant? Yahweh said, I will take care of you and you will serve me. This is in the Torah. This is in the Old Testament, in your Bible. You can read this. All right? You will serve me and I'll take care of you. That was the covenant. That was the agreement that they made. All right? And when the children of Israel accepted, what did Yahweh do? He freed them. So see, Yahweh is not the universal God that you're thinking he is. He's not. He is one of these gods, aliens. That's what he is. All right? So for all of y'all that's praying to God, all right, it's a pantheon of them. This is what Greece and Rome and Egypt and them, it's a bunch of them. But here's the kicker. They all just aliens. That's it. That's it. Now don't get me wrong. They can choose to help you if they want. But look around, fam. Who's being helped in the world today? Don't look at America. America is not a gauge for the world. All right? So look at the rest of the world. Who's thriving and who's failing? Africa not thriving. There's only a few countries in Africa that's actually doing good. And South Africa ain't one of them because that's not ran by black people. That's ran by their conquerors, the Dutch, who I feel have strong ties to the Anunnaki. Because South Africa is where all the ancient Anunnaki gold mines are that prove that there was a city of millions of people, an ancient city of millions of people down there, bigger than any other ancient city we knew of. And they keeping it hush hush. You see what I'm saying? So, as Jesus told you, you pray, what he exactly said was ask your spirit. He said if you ask your spirit, you got a soul and a spirit inside of you. All right? Now, this is where I get confused, because he said you got a soul and a spirit inside of you. He said it is the spirit. Listen to this. He says it is the spirit inside of you that makes you do wrong. All right. So what does that mean? That means anytime you say, "Damn, I knew I should have did this," then why didn't you do it? Because it's the spirit in you that told you to do something else. Now that's what Jesus says. But on the flip side of that, he says, because the disciples asked him, "How do we pray?" He said, "Whatever you ask of the spirit within you, it'll be given to you." That's what he said. Now, I've been trying that. I still ain't won the lottery. Hell, I try this, hey, reinstate my page. I'm asking the spirit in within me, reinstate my Instagram Raw Report page, please. Can you do that? And it's not happening. All right. But so this is one thing I learned, because in the Talmud of Emmanuel, Jesus states this, listen to this. It's not wrong for two women to get together sexually, but it is an abomination for two men to get together sexually. So what the fuck is that? So girls can be gay, but men can't. But if reincarnation is real, which we know it is, what difference does it make? Because little white boy Luke used to be a black woman named Pamela Robinson. You see what I'm saying? See, I be thinking deeply on this shit. So why would it, and I'm not pro anything or anti anything, because I understand what this is, what the world is. All right? This is Disney World, Disneyland. That's it. That's why the elite do all the debauchery and all this stuff with Puffy and all. The reason they doing this is because that's what this world is. It's you live in a dome, fake. You came here from someplace else. You were not born here. Your soul was not born here. Your soul came from someplace else and inhabited the body in the womb once it reached around 6-7 months. All right? But your soul didn't originate here. It came from somewhere else. So you actually came here to do the whole physical thing. Okay? The lie that we've been told, though, as a soul coming here was, oh, you're going to help the people. But see, that was a dumbass lie. We should have never believed that anyway, because what you mean, help them? You see what I'm saying? Don't know. Think about this for a second. If your true life form is a soul, which never grows old, which never dies, because you are a part of creation. If your true life form is a soul, why would we believe anything about a physical life that we're going to help some people physically? Because once them physical people die, they come back and be a soul. They can go anywhere. So why would we even believe some dumb shit like that? So I don't even think that's what we're being told. Because creation wants to experience creation. You see what I'm saying? That might be deep for you to comprehend, so let me put it to you like this. If the world you live in, which we know is fake, phony, and false, what if you came here as a soul to do one thing and one thing only? To live a physical life and experience everything that this physical life had to offer. Like a game. Like a amusement park. Right? What if that's the only reason you came here? You see what I'm saying? So when you see the elite doing all the debauchery and all of that, printing money out their ass, they got the good life, all of that. And then I don't know this girl name. I got to try to find her name. She's a celebrity. She said they offered, you might have seen the video. She said they offered her the gold juice to live forever. And I'm going to make this a post on Raw Therapy and Raw Talk and YouTube. I'm going to start posting more to y'all too. All right. But she said they offered her the gold juice. And that's so that she could live forever. What did Michael Jackson tell you in that interview with, I think his name was Bashar, whatever. He said, he asked him, "Did you want to be buried in this sarcophagus?" Because Michael Jackson had bought an Egyptian sarcophagus, and Michael Jackson was like, "Hell no." He like, "I don't ever want to die." And Bashir was like, "You don't want to die? What you gonna do then?" He said, Michael Jackson said, "I want to live forever." There's a 2,000-year-old sculpted bust, Egyptian bust of Michael Jackson. It's 2,000 years old. It's in the Chicago Museum. In the Sumerian text, Enki talks about how to use gold for an elixir that they drink that they live 450,000 years. All right. When Gilgamesh, when they took Gilgamesh back to Nibiru, Enki lied to Gilgamesh and told Gilgamesh they was trying to poison him, and told Gilgamesh, do not eat or drink anything there because they're going to try to poison you and kill you. That's what Enki lied and told Gilgamesh. However, the reason Enki told Gilgamesh that was not because they was going to try to kill him. It's because Anunnaki food is laced with gold so that it keeps them, they live a long, long time. And Enki did not want Gilgamesh to live, beyond the year. He didn't want him to have that. All right. So that's why he told him that. And so when they took Gilgamesh back to Nibiru, everybody liked Gilgamesh because they was like, wow. And they was offering him food, and he just like, no. You see what I'm saying? So when I heard this girl say they offered him the gold juice, I already know that if you take the deal, all right, put to you like this. On my first page, I posted it when Michael Jackson did that video, Remember the Times. If you go back and look at the video, Remember the Times, he's showing you, Michael Jackson is telling you that ancient Egypt is America today. But it goes beyond that, all right? It goes beyond that. These people, like you seeing so-called doppelgangers from the 50s and stuff, no, Jay-Z and them, and Eddie Murphy, and Leonard DiCaprio, Bruce Willis. Look, when you be seeing these celebrities die, they ain't dying, man. I'm talking about the celebrities that's if any type of celebrity been around for a long time, they done took a deal. Okay. Now, what I didn't know, what I learned a few days ago is, if you take a deal as a sacrifice, to sacrifice somebody, I thought you tell them who you want to sacrifice, right? But that's not the case, right? And so I always thought, so when I seen Kanye said, they sacrificed my mom, he said that. They sacrificed my mom. All of us was thinking like, no, nigga, you sacrificed your mom. No, that's not how it works. Now you can tell them, and if they, like Jennifer Hudson, she sacrificed the whole family. So that, I believe that came from Jennifer Hudson herself. And they was like, okay, that's enough. We're cool with that. All right. But they ask you, but ultimately the decision is theirs, who they're going to take. So when Kanye says they sacrificed my mom, Kanye gave somebody else up and they did not accept it. And they took his mom instead. Or could have took both of them. It's up to them who they take. And I didn't know that. I thought it's you, and I thought it was you who had to choose, but I also thought that, you can't just choose somebody you don't like. That's not a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be somebody you love. So that ultimately leaves the decision up to them. Now, this all goes back to, well, how do they know who you really love? Because I keep trying to explain to you. These motherfuckers been watching you since you was born. Right? They've been watching you since you was born. It even tell you that in the Quran. They call them angels. They're not angels, they spies. They watch and write down everything you do and say. All right? This is why I be telling people about Your spirit guides. If you going to sleep at night and seeing spirit guides that take you on, they're not guides. All right? They're guards. They're guarding you. See, everybody don't go to sleep and do all that shit. I don't. Now ask yourself, why can't I go to sleep and dream and see the spirit guides and go out into the universe? What you think I'm gonna try to do? What you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the word try out. What do you think I'm going to do if them people let my soul wander around the universe? I don't care if they with me or not. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm going to attack them. I'm going to sever that silver cord that keeps me attached to my body, and I'm going to go home. So this is why they don't let the Raw Report have those type of dreams and stuff. So they know who they messing with. And so the whole point of letting certain people do certain things is because what do these people come back and do? They tell you this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They tell you this stuff. So if it's anybody here that's being allowed to see your spirit guides and go out into the universe, I suggest you get the soul trap session, and then the next time you dream like that, get the fuck out of here. Get out. You see what I'm saying? But them are not spirit guides. They're not guiding you to anything. They're guarding you from leaving. All right? It's them who put that silver cord on you. Attach that to your soul. All right? Everything we've been told is a lie, and you begin to see, at this day and age, we are living in the apocalypse. Social media is the apocalypse, right? Because it's allowing, apocalypse means to reveal. So it's allowing people like me to reach people like you to reveal things and show you that this world is nothing like what we've been led to believe. You see what I'm saying? And more and more and more and more and more people are waking up to all of this. So what happens when people start to realize that God is not God, the world is not what they told us, and that everything basically is a goddamn lie? What do you think the Anunnaki is doing? All right, and they're giants. We're this small. So what do you think the Anunnaki is up there doing right now? And they see and hear everything. All right, I'm surprised ain't nobody slapped me upside the head, but they see and they hear everything. All right, so what do you think they doing? They watching this broadcast right now. Remember, there's people that done told you when they died and went into the light, a wall. They went into a big like Coliseum, and a wall of TVs flashed, just suddenly appeared on a wall of TVs that showed different parts of their lives. So if you think they're not watching people like me, and right now they watching, they like, well, what knowledge? They tune in just like you tune in, because it's fascinating to them to see when I figure something out. They're like, damn, this one right here, we got to keep tabs on this one. You see what I'm saying? So what you think though when they down here looking and they seeing that their world, the world that they built, is basically going to shit? What do you think they do? What do you think they're doing? They planning. In the Ten Commandments, they said this over and over and over again in the old movie, The Ten Commandments, with Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner. What did Yul Brynner say over and over again? So let it be written, so let it be done. What is the Akashic Records? What is written that will be done. So let it be written, so let it be done. What is the Akashic Records? What is written, which will be done. And see, they tell you, you can't access nobody else's Akashic Record. You can only access your own. Which is what? Telling you what? What was we talking about earlier about free will? There is no free will. All right? Or there is no free will, or there is no Akashic records. So everything that you're you are playing out a script that was already written, and you following it, and you don't even know it. You know, it seemed like, oh, it seemed like you wanted to turn left when you should have went right, and it seemed like, you wanted to go to the park, and that was your own thought, and it seemed like you had sex with this person, and it all seems like it, and yet they deleted the Rraw Report, people. If you didn't know that, they deleted the Rraw Report. You can follow my backup, Raw Therapy and Raw Talk. All right. Get the Knowledge College app, because at some point they're going to delete all of these. All right. I'm telling you that. They're going to delete them all. You know why they're going to delete them all? Because you live in an apocalypse. The apocalypse is here. The apocalypse is not something that's going. Stop. See, the reason I went through this whole God thing with you to show you that this is not the real God. So stop waiting for something to come out the sky and happen. All right. That's your indoctrination. Okay. The apocalypse is coming here. It will be instituted by, it's already started. Floods. Who do that? Who did the flood? Joe Biden told you in the Maui speech last year, they're going to ramp up the intensity and the frequency of these storms. All right? For America, what does this mean for you? This is what they're going to do for you, America. I got the map and got it on nothing I can show you, but the East Coast and the West Coast will disappear. Then the middle of, and unfortunately a place where I go often, which is down in Tennessee, Memphis area, all the way up through St. Louis, from Texas all the way up through Tennessee, and flooded out. Flooded out. You know, Memphis sit on, what is it, the Mississippi River? So the Mississippi River is going to overflow. So anybody in a 100-mile radius of the Mississippi River, East Coast, Florida will be wiped out in the next, Miami will be wiped out. Alexa predicted Miami to be wiped out in 2025. All right. A couple of more storms. We at the beginning. This is the beginning of hurricane season. A couple of more storms. There will be no Miami. All right. There will be no Miami. A couple more. Just a couple of more like they done had, and Miami's gone. You are witnessing what is known, what they call the apocalypse. All right. But what they're gonna do to America is, after they hit us with this weather, and I hate to tell you this, and this is in the next year. After they hit us with this weather, China and Russia is going to invade the United States. All right. See, what they're going to do with the weather is discombobulate us. So all these people that's thinking, these militia groups and all of that, that plan ain't going to work. Because they're going to use the weather against you. So that plan ain't going to work. So once that East and West Coast get hit, because West Coast, yours is coming. I know you don't think it, but yours probably going to be in the form of an earthquake that's going to drop half of California into the goddamn ocean. All right. East Coast, a few more hurricanes and you'll be done. Then they're going to start sending them hurricanes up through the Gulf of Mexico to hit the inner United States. When you see that happening, please know and understand that World War III will happen shortly after that. All right. America, there's 20 million soldiers. And here go the crazy part. I posted a video in 2018 showing you tanks, tan tanks, and guerrilla warfare painted tanks in Memphis, Tennessee that went on for miles. Now, that was in 2018. Now in 2024, I got a video of somebody in Alabama, which is right next to here, showing the same exact tanks that go for miles. You think I'm playing with y'all? You think this shit is a joke? This shit ain't no joke, man. America, yo, man, they done made you soft on purpose. Everybody here is soft. Shit, me too. We all soft. We not ready for no shit like this. They sending in hungry soldiers, criminals. They paid them. I just seen a post where New York is going in debt, millions of dollars trying to house these people. Think about it for a second. You run across the border and somebody finds you housing. Get the fuck out of here. When did that ever happen? That shit, free housing. I'm sitting up here paying rent. Nigga, I need to drive down to the border, go through Mexico, throw my ID out, and get in line. Nigga, that's what I need to do and get in line. I can get a new cell phone. I can get the debit card with the $4,000-$5,000 on it, and they're going to find me someplace to stay. I can stay in a nice hotel. The fuck? And all this for free? Y'all got to wake up. They financing your demise. And here's the craziest part about it, man. These niggas sit up here in your face and they tell you one thing and doing another. And it's like, y'all always follow what they say and never watch what they do. I don't understand that. It's just, it's the same thing like with religion. All right. You got people who listen to what people say and never pick this book up to find out what's going on for themselves. Guarantee you, if you just read up to Deuteronomy, you're gonna question your whole faith. Because God is killing people. Right? I mean, look, I knew something was wrong. I was a Christian. I went to prison as a Christian. But I knew something was wrong because I'm innocent. And I knew something was wrong when I was sitting in jail and I was praying. And they were steadily putting this case on my ass. And I was just like, and I stopped praying because this is not an avenue that works. I'm a young kid who was told by my preaching pastor, if you do right, if you follow God and all, everything will work out. Well, it did not. It did not. And that taught me a valuable lesson. And I started looking for God because I understood then that whoever the fuck I'm praying to, me trying to be good and all that shit is useless. It's for nothing. I've been lied to. I've been deceived. My stepmother, regular Christian, and I'm broadcasting on my on my Facebook too, so she gonna see this. She be posting that God stuff, and I'll be hitting her up, bam, with this, bam. What about that? She never responds. She's watched me live a couple of times, but I don't think she get it. You've been doing this your whole life. You're on the verge of meeting death. They say doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result is what? Lunacy, craziness, ignorance, stupidity. So why? Well, my Facebook is not public, although I made this broadcast public. I'm gonna do a public Facebook. I'm gonna restart my whole campaign. Maybe, I don't know, man. I'm really tired. I don't want to do this no more. But anyway, You've been doing this your whole life. Here's the crazy thing about Christians, right? They pray and pray and pray. Do any of those prayers get answered? The millions of prayers over. If you 70 and you've been doing this your whole life, the millions of prayers that you prayed for, all right, only some of them came true, like a drop of a bucket. And the ones that come true, what they don't understand is the ones that they wanted the most. God didn't cure you of cancer. Your will to live cured you of cancer. Or that chemo. You see what I'm saying? Or that chemo. All right. You didn't get that job because God wanted you to have that job. You got that job because you applied for that job and you were qualified to get the job, and you went into that interview and did your best. And you sold yourself. See, people attributing things to God, good things to God and bad things to the devil, is stupid. All right? Because you have to take a look at yourself. Who's more deserving of a so-called prayer being answered? An adult or a child? A child. Why a child? Because a child is the most innocent of all, right? So when I hear people say they being blessed, God loves them, I'm highly favored, this type of bullshit, how are you with your stinking, sucking, you know, fucking ass favored over an innocent child that's in Africa right now asking for something to eat or drink? And God is not hearing. See, when I see that, it takes me back to ancient times. It takes me back to the Bible. God don't care about kids, black kids in Africa. He don't care about no kids unless they Jewish kids, because that's who's God. That's who his covenant is with, the Jews. God don't have a covenant with black people in Africa. God don't have a covenant with uh, Czechoslovakia or Herzegovina. He don't have no covenant with them. If you really look at it, who's really thriving in the world? Muslims who own the oil and Jews who run the rest of the world. Who's the Muslim God? Allah. Who's the Jewish God? Yahweh. Yahweh and Allah is the same. So what's really going on here? What about the rest of us? As homeboy on Seinfeld said, it's Festivus for the rest of us. It's Festivus for the rest of us. Because, we do. Who are we praying to? That's they God. So for all these Christians and stuff, they done invented them a God, Jesus. They invented Jesus as their God. But Jesus is just a man. Now, don't get me wrong, Jesus got some pull. He's high up in Anunnaki ranks. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Is there something going on with Jesus as far as on the what we might call the other side, or the AKA spiritual side, that we don't know about? That sometimes when people are being, you know, attacked by what we might call demons or whatever, and they say Jesus' name and the attacks stop and all that. Yeah, there's something going on there. All right. But Jesus ain't answering prayers like that. Okay. So you're not, now there's a woman that won the lottery, big lottery, like $100 million. She said she bought that ticket, she put it up under her pillow, and she prayed to Jesus, and she won. All right. I've done that. All right. I do it all the time. I ain't won. When you consider, if you consider yourself being blessed in this world, which we know is fake, phony, and false, then you need to ask yourself, who is blessing you and why? Why are you being blessed? And kids in Africa who deserve it more and who are asking for way less than what you're asking, they just want some food or let it rain so they can grow their own food. So they're asking way less than you. Why are their prayers being ignored, but you feel that God has singled you out to bless you, knowing all the devilish stuff you done did that you think don't nobody know because you did it behind closed doors. All right? And you think somebody is blessing you. Well, somebody, look, what do they want in this society? They want people to work, follow suit. If you do that, what do they promise you? You can live the dream. Do that apply to me? Does that apply to the Rraw Report, who is exposing this whole system, telling you this shit is all fake, phony? So, will I be ever blessed? Will somebody bless me? No, I'll never be blessed. You know why? I'm not in the system. I'm not speaking up for the system. I'm telling you the system is fake, phony, and false. And I'm trying to wake you up to who you really are. So I may as well be a bum on the streets to them because I'm not doing what they want, so I will never be blessed. So when you think you being blessed, when I hear people say I'm being blessed, all you really telling me is you following the system. You believe in the system. And when you hear people say that, I believe in the system, when you see these people that's doing good, they deep into the system. But what did Jesus tell you in the Gnostic text? Well, even in your Bible, don't fall for this material world. Don't follow the masses. These are things that came out of Jesus' mouth that you never hear people re-quote. All right? You never hear them quote these. You hear me say it, but you never hear them say it. There's a reward for being a good slave. They reward you. Why do they reward people for being a good slave? Because if you constantly getting rewarded, all right, and then you look at somebody that like me, oh, this dude got a lot of knowledge, but he not thriving, he not doing nothing, he barely surviving. It makes you be like, that's why I break stuff down so that people can truly understand it. Because if I don't, you'll be thinking like, he's crazy. He's crazy. He ain't got nothing. And see, we look up to people that got shit. You see what I'm saying? Forbidden knowledge, driving around, giving away Rolls Royces and stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So people, they admire that. They look at me, if I pan around this motherfucker, you'll be like, God damn, Raw, let me send you some money. You see what I'm saying? I'm just making it. I'm just making it. I'm wondering where my rent coming from next month, just like you. You might be better off than me because this is what I do for a living. And by Instagram deleting that page, they knew what they was doing. They was, putting me in a predicament. You see what I'm saying? But people like me not gonna thrive and I'm not gonna be blessed because I'm bucking the system, and I'm trying, and see, they wouldn't mind if I just had my beliefs or knew this knowledge and kept it to myself. They wouldn't mind that. But the fact that I'm telling you and proving this to you and showing you, they mind that. All right, they don't like that. They don't like that. And see, they don't care about the world. I'm not telling you, like, don't work and all. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you, enjoy life. Enjoy it. That's what you came here to do. You came here to enjoy this thing. But what they don't like, what I'm telling you is make sure you get that soul trap session and know how to get back home after you're done here in this playground, because they've been reincarnating us. All right. And that might have been cool once or twice, to go back through this whole ride again, but thousands of times and constantly doing this, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? This turns into hell. And we're living in a hell because they won't let us out. And they keep wiping your memory clean every time you come back. And, when people are doing that, that means they got something to hide. You see what I'm saying? So they hiding something from us. And that's why they keep wiping our memory clean. So, look, I want to tell everybody the conference, the Apocalypse Conference, is next Sunday. All right. Get your tickets now. Go to the rawreport.com. Please get your tickets. This may be the last conference that I do. All right. I don't like being shadow banned. I worked hard to build a page up, even to get to 70,000 followers through 4 years of being shadow banned and my page not being allowed to get 1 follower. So, they know what they're doing and trying to discourage me, and they doing it. But just get your tickets. All right. If you didn't get the Soul Trap session, I advise you to get it. It's not going to be here forever. I keep telling you this. I'm going to, I'm getting to the point where I don't want to do this no more. Right. It's not fun anymore when you try to, I enjoy the work. I enjoy it. I enjoy telling you stuff. I enjoy, sharing knowledge and all of that stuff. But what I don't enjoy, I don't like people to fuck with me. That's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person where, if I wasn't so poor, I would be down at Meta Studios in Menlo, California, wherever the hell. I would be there. And I'm like, I'm not leaving this bitch until I talk to somebody, because I want to know who the fucker is that's fucking my page over. I want to talk to that person specifically so I can catch this case, because I'm going to beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on, for real. But, they lucky. But I've been collecting evidence, so this is going to end up in court, in federal court. All right. That dude, whoever that dude is, he going to cost them some money. All right. Because I don't give a fuck about your terms and conditions. You cannot get around the fact that you took money out of my account for over a year and you shot all those years until 2024. That's a breach of contract all day long. And I done looked into it with lawyers, and it's clear cut. All right. So when I prove to you that you stop my money flow, and then with punitive damages, y'all about to put some paper in my pocket. And you, whoever you is, because that's part of the lawsuit too, a rogue employee and Meta, Instagram, not having they don't have no type of procedure involved when you dealing with a rogue employee. You gonna be fired, Jack. You gonna be fired. They gonna get rid of you, whoever you is. And I know you've been working there a lot because you got other people in cahoots with you, but they gonna get rid of you, dog. All right, they gonna get rid of you. And I better not find out who you are. That's the biggest thing. They better keep your name under wraps, because I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna come see you. I ain't coming to shoot you or nothing. I ain't on that. These. I'm gonna use these. I don't give a fuck. You could be fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. I wouldn't care. I want to use these. Whip my ass, whatever. But I want to use these. I get my pleasure from that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is just it's crazy. It's not technology. That's why Raw Therapy page is still up. It's some individual that work at Instagram that don't like me. And 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you it's a reptilian, and I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't care. I'm just ready. Me and you need to talk, right? We need to talk. Get your tickets to the conference, please. All right? Please. I'm dependent on that support. All right? So I can pay my rent. Please get your tickets to the conference. All right? The other thing, I am working on a class, a knowledge class, where it's going to be like $100. It's going to be limited to like maybe 20 people per class or something. All right? With those classes, it'll be live. We're going to be on free conference call. I'm going to be doing live classes. All right? On a Sunday. If you miss it, of course, the class is taped. You can view it whenever, right? But you got a week to go on the website and do, it's a class. So you're going to have homework and tests and stuff that you got to go do. You got a week to do that stuff in between classes. All right. And it's me sharing knowledge and helping you wake up and, hopefully, sharing this with your family and friends so that y'all can see what's happening. Now, the other thing, though, you need to understand, you're witnessing the apocalypse. Since apocalypse means revealing, all right? The word apocalypse means to reveal, a revealing, all right? What is being revealed? What's being revealed is that the people that, first of all, you live in a dome up underwater. That's the biggest revelation, right? What's the other revelation behind that? Then you start asking, who made the dome? Why are we underwater? Where are we at really? I seen a post today, which I'm gonna post. Rampage Jackson, UFC fighter. He believes the earth is flat, but unfortunately, he believes space does not exist. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, kudos to him for waking up that, yeah, the earth is flat, but space is real. So you have to continue your research, my brother. Read the book of Enoch, where Enoch breaks it down to you that you in the dome up underwater on the bottom. There's 10 of these domes in total that's still all up underwater. And he went out of the water. In fact, it's even in your Bible. Look, I'll read it to you real quick. It's the very first verse. So if you got your Bible, please. And I'm thinking about starting a real, actually true church. We had the Church of Knowledge before, and then I switched it to the Community of Knowledge. I probably should have kept that the Church of Knowledge. All right, but anyway, as we read, in the beginning, this is the very first page. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So just listen. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, all right? Now, and you need to pay attention to these. There's a footnote by the word created, and I'm going to read that to you, all right? The story of creation. Out of original chaos, God created an orderly world, assigning a preeminent place to human beings. What does that mean? You see how they use all these big ass words and stuff? This is why you should get the Knowledge College app, because I read this for you in there on the premium side, and I break it down so you can understand. But what does that mean? Out of original chaos, what is chaos? Confusion, unruliness, all right? Now, when you hear that word chaos being applied to this, all right, you remember, you have to go back to the time when this occurred, right? So this is before Earth, all right? So chaos, a bunch of craziness going on. What could be crazy that would be going on if there was no people created, no Earth created, none of that created? What could be, you know what I'm saying? So you have to think like that, all right? And then it says, out of original chaos, God created an orderly world, assigning a preeminent place. So he created an orderly world. So he provided order to chaos. Right? Order to chaos. But that's not, damn. Time flying, ain't it? Damn, raw therapy. Look, damn, they taking you out in 23 seconds, Raw baby. Look, y'all, it's been 2 hours. Get your tickets to the conference. Please go to my website and get your tickets. Download the Knowledge College app. Please get the Soul Trap session if you haven't. If you need some help, send me an email at the Rraw Report at gmail.com. Follow me at Raw Therapy. Peace.